Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zolotech, and this past week was filled with different releases from iOS 18.1 to different rumors and leaks about the latest iPhone 16. We'll talk about that and more in the weekly Apple News Update for the week of July 28th to August 2nd, 2024. Now, if you've been frustrated this past week with odd connectivity issues over the previous weekend into Monday, you aren't alone, and Apple had all sorts of issues with Private Relay. Sometimes it just wouldn't work, or maybe you were in Private Relay in your account and then you found that it wasn't working, it was turning off, or you just weren't able to actually get to web pages. This actually has been resolved, but there was a big outage, and I wanted to make sure that you were aware since it wasn't just you. Many people thought it was issues with connectivity with their device, but it turns out it was just issues with Private Relay. So Apple has since resolved that. Now this week, Apple updated Apple Wallet, so if you've been using Apple Wallet, if we go into the Wallet app here, and they've updated the section for driver's licenses or state IDs, adding the state Ohio. So this is great for residents of Ohio that want to use their digital ID in their Apple Wallet. You can now do that. Apple held their quarterly earnings call for Q3 2024, and it did better than expected. iPhone 15 is doing better than the iPhone 14 in the same quarter last year. You can see all of the different results on their website. iPads did very well this time around with a big jump in sales due to the latest M4 iPad Pro and M2 iPad Air. Services continue to increase quite a bit, along with Mac as well. Tim Cook also said he can't wait to see what developers do with Apple Intelligence and integrating it into their apps. And all in all, Apple earned $85.78 billion from April to June, and profits came in at $21.45 billion, making it a new June record for their overall revenue. Tim Cook was also asked about Apple Intelligence coming to the EU and China since it wasn't available there initially, and he said they're engaged with regulators to try and make the AI features available to everyone. So hopefully we see that in the near future. It's still in beta, so we have quite a while until it's released to the public, probably sometime around October, and it still could be in beta even by then. Apple actually has an antitrust lawsuit against it by the U.S. Department of Justice and has actually filed to dismiss it, saying that the U.S. government has not demonstrated anti-competitive behavior by Apple. So whether or not this gets dismissed is hard to say, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with them. Apple has continued to diversify their supply chain and continues to do so this year, where it apparently is going to make some iPhone 16 Pro models in India by the end of the year. This is according to a report by Money Control. This will be the first time that Apple actually manufactures Pro phones in India. They started manufacturing the non-Pro phones, and it looks like they're going to manufacture the Pro phones as well. Apple's also reduced prices in India for iPhone and is looking into manufacturing iPads there as well. This is according to TechCrunch. So we could see lots of changes in the supply chain. Maybe we'll have more availability, but either way, we could see that ramp up this year. Now, Google Maps and Waze actually got a big update this past week, or at least it's going to be rolling out very soon. If we go to Google's website, you can see the announcement here where they've updated Maps and Waze. They own both of those, and if we scroll down, they've actually updated it with more easily reporting incidents in Maps to help your community, making it a little bit easier, then taking the stress out of getting to your destination with new guidance in Maps. They're updating that, making it look a little bit different, and also giving you camera alerts and more. So these things, along with real-time traffic, all of the other things many people enjoy about Waze and Google Maps should be updated along with Apple CarPlay. So that's something that we should see roll out very, very soon. WhatsApp hit a big milestone this week, claiming that there's 100 million using WhatsApp across the United States. Now, personally, I don't know anyone that uses it as their main messaging app, but I know a lot of people that have it, including myself, that message people that are not in the United States. So I would love to hear from you if you're in the United States and you use this as your main messaging app. Many people I know don't use that. They'll use iMessage on an iPhone or just the stock Android messaging app, Google Messages or Samsung Messages, and then they'll have WhatsApp to message friends and family overseas. So let me know how it works for you, if you're using it that way, or if you're using iMessage. I'd love to hear what you're using it for in the comments below. This week, many of us got to see the initial rollout of Apple Intelligence using our iPhones if we're on iOS 18.1 Beta 1 in the United States, or we have our region set to that. A recent research paper published by Apple now details how Apple used Google Tensor processor units to develop Apple Intelligence instead of using NVIDIA GPUs. This was a bit of a surprise to a lot of people since NVIDIA is sort of the bigger player here, but Apple has been working apparently using Google Tensor units to develop this altogether. They work a little bit differently, and you can read all of the details here for their language models and more. So there's an in-depth paper with 47 pages of information explaining exactly how they did that. Now, as far as weekly deals this week, I thought we'd talk about that, releases, and then the latest rumors and leaks with iPhone 16. Best Buy actually has a very big deal running where you can get up to $500 off M3-based MacBook Pros depending on the configuration. The M4 iPad Pro is also on sale by about $100, and AirPods Pro remain at $179 on Amazon, sold directly by Apple. AirPods 3 are also $129, along with many other different things that are on sale right now as well. I'll link them in the description if you want to check them out. Now, as far as releases this week, well, we had a milestone for the Apple Safari Technology Preview. They've reached version 200. So if we go to their website here, scroll down, you'll see that we now have 200, and they have a little celebration emoji there. And we're at the 200th Safari Technology Preview. This previews upcoming features and technologies and is available now for macOS Sequoia and macOS Sonoma if you want to check it out. Of course, you can see all of the release notes here as well if you want to see that. So I'll link that in the description if you want to see it yourself. This week, we could see the release of iOS 18 Beta 5 and iOS 18 Public Beta 3. Typically, Apple switches to a weekly release schedule when they get closer to the final release. We're only about a month or so away at this point. Usually in mid-September is when we see it released to the public. So based on that information, I would think we'll have Beta 5 as soon as Monday or Tuesday. We could also have iOS 18.1 Beta 2, but we don't really know the release schedule for that just yet. That could be a couple weeks out. As far as iOS 17.7 or iOS 17.6.1, there's been no messages or rumors or anything about that, so we'll have to wait and see if they're done with iOS 17, except for security updates. When it comes to iPhone 16, there was quite a bit of news this week, and leaker Sonny Dixon actually shared what appears to be the new colors of the latest iPhone models. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus have a new green color, and some shades I hope are a little bit different than this, but let me know what you think in the comments below. But also they appear to have more color than the slightly blue colors or light colors of the iPhone 15 models, so I think some people would really appreciate that. He also leaked the latest colors of the iPhone 16 Pro models, minus the expected rose or pink color. And earlier this week, a leaker from Weibo, Fixed Focus Digital, has said to expect a new bronze color instead of a rose gold or maybe pink color. So we're not really sure what the final colors will be, and this happened before as well, where some had previously hinted at maybe an orange color, and then we saw other colors released instead. So we don't really know 100% what the colors are going to look like as far as the Pro phones, but it does look like Apple will probably replace the blue color with something else. DigiTimes is also said to expect the iPhone 16 models, and these are just the dummy units or models that I've shown in different videos. DigiTimes is said to expect them to have Wi-Fi 7, at least in the Pro models with the latest chipset. Also, we're expected to get a big bump in battery life with the Pro models. Today, a Weibo leaker called Instant Digital has said the iPhone 16 Pro model is going to get a big jump in battery capacity by about 10%. According to the leak, iPhone 16 Pro would jump to about 3,577 milliamp hours, up from 3,274 milliamp hours, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max would jump to 4,676 milliamp hours, up from 4,422. So not a giant increase, but definitely an increase that could help, maybe help with Apple Intelligence, maybe with a new chipset, or hopefully give us even more battery life than expected with more efficiency from the latest chips. iPhone 17 also had some rumors this week, with the latest rumor being that the iPhone 17 will get an update to the front-facing camera, bringing it up to 24 megapixels. This is according to Mac Rumors and analyst Jeff Poo. So we could get a forward-facing camera with 24 megapixels, but not until iPhone 17 next year. There's more information about the upcoming iPhone SE 4, and this could be a couple different things. We don't really know what it looks like. Some have said it will look like this iPhone 16. Others have said it will have a more squared-off design, closer resembling that of the iPhone 14 models. So not the Pro models, but the 14 with just maybe one or two cameras. We don't really know 100%, but it looks like it's getting closer to reality with some of the supply chain sort of ramping up production. It looks like LG will be a secondary supplier of displays for the upcoming iPhone SE refresh. It's unclear if the design will be what we think it is. Maybe it will be something different, but either way, it looks like they're getting things ready to get it produced. So maybe we'll see it by the end of this year or probably sometime early next year. Apple continues to work on a folding phone as well. Now, some people say they don't want this, some people say it's a fad, and other people really love folding phones. There's been a lot of talk about it, and it looks like Apple's actually working on them, but the production could be delayed, maybe back to 2026, according to analyst Jeff Pu. It looks like it may be difficult for Apple to get everything done, tested, and ready to go into mass production by 2025. So it may be a couple years until we see that, if ever. The latest iPad display tech with tandem OLEDs really makes for a really bright, vibrant, and great HDR viewing experience. Deep blacks, vibrant colors, and is a great display overall. It looks like this technology could be coming to Vision Pro in the future as Apple continues work on that. So with the current one, they're quite good as far as the displays overall, but they could be switching to tandem OLED for that if they're bright enough. So that's something we could see in a future version of Vision Pro. So that's everything with the latest iPhone 16 rumors, even iPhone 17, and we should see iPhone 16 in just about a month or so. Of course, we can expect more iOS updates soon and other things hopefully that we don't expect. Let me know what you're looking most forward to in the comments below, and if you're planning to upgrade from an iPhone 15 or an older phone to an iPhone 16. Of course, I'll link this wallpaper in the description like I normally do, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.